start streaming.
Welcome to the Sportz Phenz Show. The show where, just like you, we can't get enough sports.
The 47-year wait is over! And the Nuggets win it! Wilson throwing, it's up for grabs, and he's caught for the touchdown! And the Denver Broncos have taken Super Bowl 50. To the Avalanche are 2022 Stanley Cup champions! And a shot into the back of the net for Diego Rubio!
Now here's your hosts, Arthur Knight,
1-0 Rapids. They are champions.
Uh-oh.
All of a sudden we could hear you. Now we can't hear you, buddy. Try it again.
It's because I'm muted.
That'll
We're
contribute.
unprofessional at this show.
You muted you.
Have you guys not learned that we're unprofessional here?
We know what you're doing.
Are you okay, dude? Welcome to the Sportz Phenz.
Hey, welcome to the Sportz Phenz Show. I am Arthur Knight, and with me is Mr. Ryan Lagan and Mr. Michael Wharton. Say what's up, fellas. What's good in the hood?
What's up, fellas? What's good in the hood?
What's cracking?
That's what's up. Ryan knows how to follow direction. All right, the fellas are coming to you live from Denver, Colorado at 4300 or 4300 West Alameda Sohai Cafe. Get you some barbecue. I mean, you've already missed the boat for tonight, Thursday night game, so you're going to have to wait until next week. But the Nuggets play tomorrow night. They play Golden State. I believe it's here. It's our revenge game from game one for the Denver Nuggets. But, you know, get your pre-orders in with Vinny at Sohai Cafe. Get you some barbecue. Get you some tacos, man. I know the fellas are going to get some food after this. You know you got to get that home-style mac and cheese. Call up Vinny, 303-807-0151. Get your pre-orders in for the Nuggets game tomorrow or the Broncos game next week. We are also coming to you, brought to you by IMB Vision. IMB Vision is devoted to offering affordable, fashionable eyewear. IMV is your eye care advocates. Their goal is to provide all with the education and awareness needed to make an informed decision about your vision and health. They are located off of Alameda and Buckley in Aurora, Colorado. But you can call today at 720-762-4290 or book today at imvvision.com. They take most medical insurance and Medicaid, so call or book today, 720-762-4290 or imvvision.com. That's 720-762-4290 or imvvision.com. IMV Vision, we see you.
Not a fan at all.
Well, and the Raiders have been able to move the ball a little bit, too. That's the surprising part. I think we're used to the Broncos coming out ice cold on offense, but no Jacoby Myers and still kind of no problem moving it down the field right now.
It wasn't a big help that Jeremy Crawshaw hit like a 30-yard punt, set him up with beautiful field position for them to have their nice little drive, seven on the board.
He just did that again. If I just saw this correctly, he just did that again.
Well, maybe we need to switch his name back to Jeremy Crawshank. He needs a Crawshank redemption.
I was just gonna say we just got to stop punting, and then you don't even need a Crawshank redemption. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
same page there.
We don't need no more of these 3 and outs, but I have a feeling there might be a couple coming up.
Mike has spent 7 days coming up with this crooked foot, like all these nicknames for this dude. He's been spending all week. Mike, Did you send Vinny the eyes?
I did not. I did not send Vinny the eyes. Oh yeah, you gave me his email, didn't you?
You had one job.
I had one job, man.
One job.
I shanked it. I cross-shanked it.
You cross-shanked. There you go.
Oh man.
That's
all right.
One job, bro.
We'll get it together.
We'll
get it together, man. This is a rough start, but we're working on it.
Yeah, man. We're working on it. We'll get there. This is the last remote show we're going to have to do, man. I thank all of y'all for sticking with us, through the thick and thin. This is the last time. Chocolate City has been good to me. I'm going to miss it. I enjoy it every time I come here. I've been here a few times. I didn't get out and do any sightseeing, man. When you've seen the Lincoln Monument once, you've seen it once, it's not something you just go to 6 times.
I've never heard of Chocolate City.
I was going to say, are you in Hershey, Pennsylvania?
Nah, bro. Come on, man. I wouldn't expect y'all to know, but that's what DC's called. That's the nickname, Chocolate City.
Really? Why is that?
Look it up. Look it up.
Okay.
Because the black folks, man, what do you think?
You got to stop giving me.
Black folks.
You got to stop giving me homework, man. I'm gonna. I'm bad with that.
I know you don't do it though. You don't do it.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So I don't know why I'm doing that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about, man.
I'm setting you up to fail. I'm setting you up to fail, knowing that you are going to fail.
Hey, that's not nice.
Hey, on a serious note, though, all jokes aside, man, we give our thoughts and prayers to the Cowboys and the Cowboys team and Marshawn Nealand, his family, his girlfriend. They get our thoughts and prayers, man. To get this news today kind of sucks because it was kind of a good day in sports, and then it just kind of faded away with this sad story. You guys know anything about it? I know it's a possible suicide or an apparent suicide, but
something.
There was like a police chase or something.
They said it was like a police chase after a crash, and then he ditched his car on foot, and then they found him. That's about the detail. I don't like to speculate, and I don't even like to go off of the initial reports. You know what I'm saying? There's probably a lot more to the story, but it sounds pretty tragic, and then you hate to hear about it.
Yeah, they're saying self-inflicted gunshot wound, and they're saying that he had previously made some, comments in the vicinity of self-harm to close family. So, yeah, extremely unfortunate. Obviously hard to say what exactly is going through his head with what we know at this stage, but 24 years old, just scored a defensive or special teams touchdown a couple days earlier.
His first touchdown of his career.
Yeah, it
was his first one.
Had so much going for him for it to end that way. Just
make sure
tragic. Yeah.
Make sure you check in on your people, and if you ever feel like you need to talk to someone, reach out. I'm sure you don't want to hear about stuff like this, and it's a sad story.
Yeah, nobody
man.
wants to hear stuff about this, man. I mean, you hear like Junior Seau, and I mean they do need to do a lot more case studies into what's going on in these athletes' head, because it's obviously happening early on. This guy, typically the stories come out and it's about older players. You know what I mean? Like it's older players in the what is it called? CPT or
CTE? Yep.
CTEs. So usually it's typically after those guys have spent 10 years, 15 years or whatever in the league. And now it's starting to, like you said, I don't want to speculate, but I would never understand what would drive a 24-year-old millionaire, careers on the rise, plays for one of the most prominent teams in the NFL. I mean, the mind is a finicky thing, and it's fragile. And any one of us could snap at any moment. But I just want to send my thoughts and prayers to his family, his friends. I can't stand the Cowboys organization, but it's just, you have to send your thoughts and prayers to those people that are close to him, man, because it's just a sad story, and you don't want to hear about a 24-year-old losing his life, let alone taking his life. So like I said, our thoughts and prayers go out to them. We won't touch on it much more because, like Mike said, adequately, we don't know enough information. And me coming from a news background, Mike is absolutely right. He hit the nail right on the head. Initial reports are always just initial reports. It's just the baseline facts, some speculation. So we should probably wait to comment too much on it until the facts, all the facts come out, right? Agreed?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know if you're going to hear most of the backstory either, typically type of thing that the family is going to want to keep private too. I think the takeaway with stuff like this is, if you're trying to apply logic to it, if you're trying to go, well, what was so wrong with, his life or his situation to make him do that? Of course, you're going to come up empty. Obviously these things go a lot deeper than whatever, surface level things are going on in his life. So, yeah, very sad, and keeping your loved ones in your thoughts, and help the people in your life if they need it, for sure.
Yep. All sports aside, just that human element.
All right,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, now with that said, back to sports and jokes. This is a lighthearted show. I just wanted to make sure that we sent our condolences in the right way. But to answer both of your questions, just so, while we were talking about this and sending our condolences, Washington, D.C. is referred to as Chocolate City due to its significant African-American population and rich cultural heritage, particularly during the 1970s, when over 70% of its residents were black. Happy now we learned something.
Yes. I won't be calling it that.
Give me that the more you grow. Give me that the more you grow. Vinny, where's it at?
The more you know, the more you grow.
He's not in the room, is he?
Maybe about 40. That was all right.
40.
I mean, he was backed up.
All right, we hear you.
Back
Chuckle.
against the wall.
There
He's back. He's back.
When we're troubleshooting, we'll just keep making jokes so that you have to keep laughing, and then we'll know exactly when you're back online with us.
That's how it's going to work.
To do it.
We could do that. That's a system.
Yeah,
See, that's what we do where I work. You create systems for problems,
Yeah.
Well,
right?
that was way
You
better
find the
than
problem,
our
you
crew.
find, or
Dave
you
would have been
see a
just going, "Oh, blah, 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 blah,
problem, you
blah,
find a
blah."
solution.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
How do we feel about the Broncos throwbacks,
Or you just have
man?
a Vinny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we like the throwbacks better than the modern iteration of the Broncos uniforms? Should we just need to permanently go back to the D on the helmet?
It's easier to
I like the
draw.
new version of the D. Yeah, that's.
Y'all are the more familiar with the Broncos history than I am, but didn't they switch to the modern uniforms right before they won those 2 Super Bowls?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Yeah, or it might have been after the first one.
Like in between?
Yeah. But it's been
Nah, it was the year they won the first one.
It
is
was?
when they switched it to that new uniform.
Yeah, that's over 25 years ago, so my memory's a little foggy on that one.
Got it. proud
But yeah, definitely right around that time. It was a refresh. People thought that was what we needed to push us over the edge, to push John Elway into the helicopter mode and all that. You know what I mean?
Could be something to it. I like the old ones for
Hey.
sure, but
So I got to know, did you guys hear my TED talk on why DC is called Chocolate City? Or
Yeah,
did you lose
we
me
heard all
before
that. We heard that.
yeah, we heard enough. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure you learned something today.
Yeah.
Did you learn something today?
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
I think
We
I'm
learn things on this
gonna
show.
avoid calling it that though, because it just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it just want to tread lightly around that hole.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll be careful. We'll be careful.
You know what? I'm taking you both on a car ride to Montbello, and I'm pushing you out the car and be like, these two said Chocolate City, and I'm driving away.
Oh man.
Just wanted to ride
Watch you
roller
both turn
coasters and eat
bright red.
Hershey's.
Oh man.
I was talking about, he meant chocolate bars. Yeah, we was going to the store.
Yeah. Anybody want s'mores?
All right, man. Well, the Broncos are on a win.
Yeah, the 41-year-old
Tight end. Yeah, that was a pretty big nothing burger. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, granted, like as a Packers fan, I watched him, be productive in his late 30s in Green Bay. Like, I'm not saying he can't do anything for this team, and good for him for setting the record for oldest tight end on an NFL active roster, but Adonai Mitchell, the wide receiver, that basically lost his playing time after he did one of those fumble at the 1 yard line on a wide open touchdown type situations early in the year. So yeah, the Colts were a big buyer. The Jaguars gave up multiple picks. Not like NBA a couple years in a row there, right? And if you get the best version of him, absolutely. I mean, that, you've seen what guys like that do in, Pat Surtain's situation and prime Jair Alexander. You can go back to Revis Island. Like, it just changes the entire way you scheme defensively. That being said, he was much more pedestrian this year. It's hard to say if that's like a
Jets problem.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that a motivation thing when your team's 1-7 and it's kind of hard to keep your eye on the prize a little bit? It's kind of like but he's so young. You have to imagine he's still got that best version of himself in the tank, right?
He could be reinvigorated. I mean, getting onto a good squad could definitely boost his efforts out there. I think. Carly Ursay out here making big moves from the sidelines.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
for sure. And then if you're the Jets, I mean, you can't be mad about that return either, right? I mean, they let go of Quinnen Williams too, I believe, and got another first and second rounder there from the Cowboys.
Investing for the future.
Yeah,
making moves.
That's a big haul at the trade deadline. I mean, granted, it's gonna be hard to pick another Sauce or pick another Quinnen Williams. That's kind of my concern when you're making moves like that. But I mean, it's I don't know the last time I saw a team get that kind of draft pick haul in one trade deadline either. So
I've got a couple people I've talked to that for some reason it really bothers them that Carly Ursay is on the sidelines, kind of taking notes, and does that bug you?
Why would I mean, no offense to whoever it is that has that opinion, but like, why would that be?
I don't know, but I think it's great. I mean, why would she not be? And she's inherited the team from her pops.
Get closer to the
Wasn't she
action,
already
right?
on the sidelines anyways? It's not a deal, and it's been a big deal or even something that was shown on TV all the time until this season.
Yeah,
really.
I can't say I was tracking closely on her work prior to Jim's passing, but I mean, I'm all for it. Get as close to the action as you can, but do you think it's like a females in sports leadership roles kind of take? Or?
I think it might be a couple of meatheads that I might have come across that got an issue with it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't bug me at all.
Yeah. I mean, wherever you think
Meatheads.
No.
that's what you call people that love pit barbecue, right, Vinny?
Oh yeah. Yeah, meatheads.
Hey, great job keeping it going, fellas.
Yeah, he's back. He's back.
He's back, like he never left.
I'm back. Look, I was gonna say see you next week. I put it in the chat like I'll see y'all next week. Because I'm like, man, these technical difficulties is just killing the show. It's killing the whole vibe.
Nah,
we got people watching this, so we can't,
I think it's charming. I think you know what I'm saying? That DIY sort of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not
right.
professional. We're not professional.
No.
I don't know how many times I have to say this on this show.
We're just fans.
We're not professional
We're
here.
just fans. We're just hanging out.
We
We're
are just
chatting it up.
fans.
It's inviting. It's welcoming,
No, I
right?
see all kinds of stuff on Channel 31. You watch enough, man. We're good.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, so it looks like the Broncos are just going to be anemic the first two quarters of every game.
Or three.
So let's just move on.
I thought they just rattled off a big play to was that Troy Franklin or who was that?
Oh
They
man.
got second and goal now.
Yeah.
So
Second and goal, baby.
They just scored a touchdown.
man, you're like 5 or
Franklin.
10 seconds ahead of
Yeah,
us.
you must be
all right?
ahead
Go
of us.
easy over there.
No spoilers.
East Coast, baby.
This time zone stuff, man. This guy's
Arthur's a time
he's
traveler.
living in the future.
Nice. All right, let's go.
All right, Arthur,
Let's go, Bo.
You gotta send us the parlay real quick.
Yeah. Let me get on FanDuel real quick, bro. Tell me what happens next.
No.
Hold on,
See,
hold
now
on.
you done put it on recording.
Do they make the
No,
extra
no,
point
we can't
quick?
do it now.
Do they make the extra point quick?
Yeah, there's
evidence now.
There's too many controversies out there with sports gambling.
Yeah, I was gonna say
yeah.
we don't want to be next to Billups.
Yeah, I'm
You're
not
right.
trying to get into.
Sorry,
yeah,
too soon on that. My
the
bad.
UFC's got
bad.
controversies
I'm not
happening.
trying to-
No.
Yeah. Ever since sports betting became like legal,
I will say,
it's really has gotten outrageous.
let's give the UFC credit. It sounds like the UFC was like working with like the local law or whatever law enforcement they were supposed to be like before this was a national news story, whereas you got the NBA like backtracking,
scrambling.
Like,
yep.
How could this have happened? The NBA PA, like, you're not protecting our players, like, and it's a whole, extra circus with that. Whereas the UFC is like, yeah, we saw the unusual activity, we reported it, like the second that happened, we ended this guy's contract. Like, they seem like they're farther out in front of it than the NBA is. So give them credit where it's due there.
Yeah, I think in fight sports, it's been such a prominent thing in the past that they probably had to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But who knows? It's still unfolding. It could be bad news.
In their respective sports, like the NFL and the UFC have a tight iron grip around the narrative, everything.
Yeah.
Like literally everything. So it's not shocking that they're able to get out in front of stuff ahead of time and change the narrative and spin and spin and spin, deny.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hey, you know what's crazy though? You know what's also crazy, because that's crazy. But you know what also is crazy? There was a lot of NFL trades at the deadline that are just blew my mind. One in particular, and I know Ryan's got one or two, and I think Mike has a couple as well. But starting off with the Jets trading Sauce to the Colts.
While you were out,
who did the Colts? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. Yeah, we covered that while you were out. What are your thoughts? I want to know.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Said.
I want to talk about it right now. I must have missed. I was listening. I actually was listening, but I must have missed that part trying to get connected off of the Zoom and then onto the anyway.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
No worries.
So really quick, my thoughts on that though, really quick though, is that Sauce Gardner trade is just insane. Like, how did the Colts? Who's? No, I can't say that. Like, what genie in a bottle? I was about to say somebody had to filter it. What genie in a bottle did the Colts, you know what I'm saying, get? What genie in a lamp did they get that they have, like, the top quarterback this year? Like he's not – Daniel Jones is not the best quarterback in the league. Don't take that the wrong damn way. But right now he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league. He's playing really well. The top running back, and I believe they have like the top linebacker or safety or something like that. And now they have one of the top corners. Like, what the hell? The Colts just got like way harder to beat.
Well, I think there's an element to, hey, if you're getting this level of quarterback play out of the contract that Daniel Jones has, that's when you push your chips in, right? Because normally to get this level of quarterback play sustained consistently, you're paying, $60 million a year these days. And so this is one of those few moments where you're in a place to contend and to trade for a cornerback that's making $30 million a year. That's not normally in the budget for most teams. So, and I think the Jets said they were not shopping Sauce. They were not even trying to have conversations about it. And the Colts.
No, they offered him 2 first-round picks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Colts came in Godfather style, and they made him enough where they can't refuse. That's.
I knew it was you, Fredo.
That's the only way.
I knew it was you.
That's the only way these things can materialize. So that's what we were talking about, though. The NFL trade deadlines are getting a little spicier than what they've been historically. That's some fun stuff right there.
No doubt. All right.
Sure.
Now that I got my thought in, because you guys already put your thought, let's pivot a little bit to some b-ball here, man. Because the Nuggets bench right now is looking dangerous. I've got some numbers here that I'm going to throw at y'all.
Okay.
Now, last year, sorry, I had to move my camera here because it was covering my numbers. So last year, the Denver Nuggets bench was only averaging like 8 points a game or something like it's something crazy. I looked it up, but I forgot to write it down. But it was something crazy like 8 to 12 points, right? Golden State in the loss, 24 points. Phoenix, 44 points. These are all bench. This is just the bench, not even Jokic, not Murray, this is just the bench players, okay? 44 versus Phoenix, 38. What's that?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
You said you're throwing the
38
numbers at me,
versus-
so I'm catching them. So that was my whole thing. But I
catching
didn't
the
mean
numbers.
to cut you off. The delay.
Here's one more. Here's one more. 38 versus Minnesota.
Yep.
And Tim Hardaway Jr. You remember last week or the week before when I said Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to turn out to be like him and Valanciunas, right?
Yeah.
In that game versus Minnesota, who the Nuggets haven't beat since the year they won the championship. Okay, I want to add that caveat in there, add that little tidbit. 38 points versus Minnesota, and Hardaway Jr. had 20 of those points.
He's a walking bucket.
20.
That dude has been
Bruh, but he's playing with
out.
such confidence. The confidence this man has.
Hardaway's
it
shooting
just
45% from 3 this year. Hardaway is.
It's nasty.
bruh.
That's so nasty.
Bruh.
You like to
Bruh.
see it.
It's almost. Go ahead.
I just said you like to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna keep going. So
Yes.
New Orleans,
Okay.
52 points from the bench.
Woo.
52 versus the Blazers in a loss. 36 in versus Sacramento. 30 points. Last night versus Miami. 31 versus Miami, and Hardaway had 18 of those points.
And what did you say the Nuggets bench averaged per game last year?
8.
Somewhere between 8 and 12.
You're kidding.
Mm.
That's got to be the lowest in the league, no?
I mean, they were like a minus
It was terrible,
18,
dude.
minus 20 or something every game.
They really were. They were really bad.
That's
I might be
bonkers.
over being a little just a little bit, but it was bad. It was really, really bad.
Right.
They really were like plus 18 or more when Jokic wasn't playing. Like, it was terrible. Now this year, they're minus 18, or actually I don't think it's 18. I think they're minus 14 or something like that when Jokic is on the bench, and they're growing leads. They're not just last night the starters struggled to grow the lead. They got the lead, but they struggled to grow it. The bench came in and all of a sudden the game was over. Like the Miami Heat could never catch back up. It didn't matter who was in after that. And that's a lot to Tim Hardaway Jr., Bruce Brown, Valanciunas. They are playing at a level at the beginning of the season that most benches are playing at the end of the season or around All-Star break. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Shout out to Miami Heat because they're a tough team, man. That was a good game, I thought. But, yeah, come the fourth quarter, it was pretty much sealed at that point.
Yeah, the Heat always seem to find a way to take a roster full of like B plus at best kind of players and put a real competitive team together. Shout out to Spoelstra.
Yeah, I was gonna say Spoelstra's a hell of a coach.
Yeah, coaching.
Speaking of which,
Coaching.
speaking of sending good vibes out into the universe, apparently Spoelstra's house burned down while he was in Denver. I don't know if
man.
y'all heard about this.
No.
Yeah, I swear to God. Really
That sucks.
crazy stuff. So hopefully,
Nobody hurt.
yeah, I don't think anyone was hurt last I read. So hopefully, they didn't lose anything they can't replace or what have you. But
Yeah.
crazy stuff. But yeah, and back to the Nuggets. I actually also think this team probably still has another gear. It really still seems like they're looking.
Right.
Well, Cam Johnson is where I was gonna go with that. I mean, this dude does not seem like he's fully like integrated into this starting lineup offense yet. You got to imagine that there's more to unlock potential wise there. And then what does this thing look like when this dude starts giving you 15 or 20 a game himself, like he's capable of? I'm not saying he's going to average 19 a game like he did in Brooklyn. I think MPJ has shown us that when you put an NBA player on a G League roster and you just give him like the keys to the offense, that you're gonna see numbers you're not gonna see on any other team, right? MPJ's not averaging 23 a game anywhere else. But that being said, you got to imagine you get more than 8.5 a game out of Cam Johnson long term.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's going to
Mike?
take some time. It's going to take a little bit of time for him to click. I've been saying that for weeks now. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting to that rhythm. It's got to be intimidating playing with Jokic and AG and Jamal Murray. You know what I'm saying? These heavy hitters. He's real cerebral. He's just trying to overthink stuff. I think once he finds that rhythm, once he starts clicking, it will be another gear, like you said. And if you hit the message boards online, and there's a lot of people that are kind of crying about Cam Johnson underperforming right now, and then they're looking at the MPJ's numbers. He's putting up some respectable numbers with the Nets, but you got to keep in mind, as we were just talking about, that this bench would not be possible if we didn't trade MPJ and get rid of that contract and get it out of here. You know what I'm saying?
All right. I didn't want to bring it up, and I don't want to skip ahead, but that MPJ argument, the message boards, like MPJ's doing this, bro. If you look at his average, he's only averaging 3 more points than his best season as a Denver Nugget. That is not significant. Now, yes, he's had some 30-point games, but in losing efforts, so most of that has been
what's their
garbage time.
What's their record? You know what I'm saying? Like, who got the better of that deal? You know what I mean?
They're like 1-6. They're like 1-6. And to Ryan's point, okay, Cam Johnson, yes, I think he has confidence in himself. I think he's more wanting the team to be confident in him. And Jokic, if you see, the eye test doesn't lie, right? Jokic is feeding him the ball. You can see Jamal feeding him the ball, like, dude, take the shot. Take the shot. They're trying to instill the confidence that they have in him, and show that on the court. I don't think he's feeling that trust or something. I don't know. It's just it's awkward looking right now. But to Ryan's point, I do think that when he finally does click, like last night it was his best game as a Denver Nugget, like hands down. He had a good shooting night. He had, oh damn it, Bo Nix just threw an interception.
Arthur, stop. All I'm asking is, if you see it happen, just give it 10 more seconds and then you can react. When you see us go, oh no, Bo threw a pick, then you can have your reaction. I need a poker face out of you, man. You're killing me.
Look, I'm a sports fiend. What do you want from me, bro?
I want a poker face. That's what I want.
It's hard to ask someone to not react.
This isn't poker.
Pretend
Poker is not a sport.
Pretend I'm Chauncey
It's on
Billups,
ESPN.
okay?
It is not a sport, though.
Pretend I'm Chauncey Billups, okay?
It's too soon.
Sorry.
It's too
soon.
That's twice now. I'm so sorry.
We can't.
No, but I was gonna say, for context on the Nets right now, your third leading scorer is Nick Claxton, and your fourth leading scorer is Terrence Mann. So, between him and Cam Thomas, there's not a lot of offensive options on your 1-7 team over there. So you gotta take the offensive output with a little bit of a grain of salt. To Mike's point, like, the big thing there is, even if they are 50-50, or even if MPJ is a little bit better, you don't have Brucey B and Valanciunas and Hardaway on your bench if you don't make that swap. But,
yeah, it wasn't just a 1-for-1 trade, man. We were dumping that contract to free up some dough so we can bolster that bench, and it worked.
Exactly. So we could get Valanciunas and sign him without having an issue, like if they want to extend him, I should say, because they traded for him. So they could sign a Bruce Brown, so that they could sign, all of these players, or give money to Christian Brown, right? Had to re-sign Christian Brown. How are you going to do that with MPJ on a max extension? You can't. So I'm really getting tired of these arguments about MPJ is doing so much better, that he's the first scorer on his team now. This man had so much opportunity when he was playing with the bench to be that guy, and he never did. And I'm not knocking MPJ. MPJ is a great player. And like Mike said, it wasn't like they swapped player for player. There were other implications to this deal in swapping MPJ. So yes, MPJ could be scoring 30 points every other game, but you need to put it all in context when you're thinking about it, because some of that is going to be in garbage time. Some of that is going to be, yes, he's just getting his. in losing efforts. So I don't give a damn how many points MPJ is getting. I had posed the question to the fellas in our rundown here. That MPJ seems to be shining. Did the Nuggets give up too soon or trade the wrong Nugget? I mean, you both have already made your statements clear. Like, I don't think they traded the wrong Nugget. That was the only one that you could.
Yeah, who
Murray
else are you gonna move?
Couldn't trade him away because his contract was kicking in. You know what I mean? Like, you couldn't do that. You're definitely not going to trade Nikola Jokic. And AG is like, if you had traded AG, like, look how well AG is playing right now. That would have been foolish.
Yeah, no, you don't want to. You don't want to do that. Mike was the only option to get rid of as far as big money contracts, max contracts. There's no if, ands, or buts about it.
For sure. And I think AG
Cam is a chemistry guy. As opposed to MPJ being a me guy, Cam is a chemistry guy. The only reason why he was a kind of a me guy in the Nets is because that's what they were asking him to be. He had to be the leading scorer. That's what they wanted him to be.
Yeah, they just didn't have any other
now
options
they have
to turn
MPJ.
to. Yeah.
And you know the same people on the message boards, that were talking about how well MPJ's doing, as far as his numbers, and it was a bad trade, and they're bagging on Cam Johnson, are the same people that were probably talking crap about MPJ lackluster, in the disappearing in the playoffs 2 years in a row or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Same people on the message. Yeah. Just Reddit. Don't go on Reddit.
The people that can't make up their mind whether they love him or hate him,
Man,
I agree, Mike. Yeah, go ahead.
We agree too much on this show. We got to find some of these people on these message boards and get them on here so we can argue
right?
with them. I feel like we're arguing with a wall, but I want to argue with these dudes wherever they are.
Hop on Reddit, man. They're all over Reddit.
No, I don't want to argue on Reddit.
Bruh, believe you me, Ryan, you tell me all the time when I talk to somebody on like a thread on Facebook, you always tell me, what do you say to me? What do you say? I want to hear it.
Yeah, no, it's true. There's been more than one occasion where we're at work and all of a sudden, this guy's on break or whatever, and I just hear him getting mad at his phone on some stupid Facebook take, that someone put, and I'm like, you can count on one hand the IQ of whoever wrote that, unless they're trying to piss you off, to make you mad, right? And you're letting them win. You're letting them make you mad. I
actually used to be a moderator on a Facebook Nuggets fan page or group that had almost 100,000 members, and I had to quit that free job because it was the most frustrating thing in the entire world to try to keep that group in line. It was ridiculous. I couldn't take it anymore. It was 100,000 people and 99% of them have a very, very pedestrian knowledge of the game, and they didn't know what they're talking about. Like, a lot of people just like to. You don't even know if people are trolling. You don't know if they're bots from Russia trying to throw a wrench in the.
Right.
Well, that,
you know what I'm saying?
On top of that, Mike, you're a moderator and you're real. You're a real person.
Yeah.
And some of those moderators were real people.
Yeah.
But there were moderators that were fighting each other in that group. I had to leave that group as well.
Yeah.
I was like, you guys, this isn't even. Are you guys even Nuggets fans?
Well,
I don't know, what are y'all?
Moderators would come from another rival group, or what I'm saying, and come over and start arguing and stuff. Then we're banning each other from the groups, and it was an ugly scene. I didn't want to be involved with that no more.
Banning moderators,
hitting them with the ban hammer.
Where does that happen?
Yeah, it happens on Facebook.
Where does that happen?
It happens
only
on Facebook.
In social media. Yeah, exactly.
It's poison.
Only in social media.
It's poison. You got had to steer clear.
That's why
the reason why I went down that rabbit hole is to point out to Ryan why he wouldn't want to go down that rabbit hole of bringing arguing with a wall. No, I'm just kidding. I would love to have somebody come on that has a difference of opinion. Hit us up in the thread. Follow us on Facebook. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. Give us comments. We post on our page all the time, or at least I do. These two knuckleheads don't, but I do. I don't think Ryan even goes on Facebook anymore. No. I think I see last time he's been on there was 6 years ago.
Imagine getting some dum-dum from social media on our show, and there's just three of us just destroying them all at once. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't even be fair. That it might be good. It might be good TV.
Fun for them.
It'd be good TV though. It'd be a good
It would
podcast.
be great TV.
Yeah.
There's
It
probably
would be great TV.
We could cut some clips, make some reels, do some advertisement, you know what I'm saying? Be like, yeah, these three dudes from Denver just like yelling at people.
there's probably a balance somewhere between all of us agreeing with each other and like going full like like Stephen A versus Mad Dog or Skip Bayless versus Shannon Sharp, like where you're just arguing for the sake of arguing, and they got to have one side that just has a point that is like they don't probably even believe in themselves, but they want yelling on their show. Like there's a balance somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere. I mean, you don't want to be too adversarial, but and you don't want to come across with some manufactured disdain, but
The Raiders are winning the AFC West.
No, they're not.
It's happening.
No, they're not.
It's happening right in front of your eyes.
Wah, wah, wah.
This Raiders game will be the catalyst to the downfall of the Broncos.
Oh man, don't say that. Don't knock on wood. That's closest to you, Mike. Don't say that.
There's some wood.
Speaking of catalysts and teams that cause downfalls, this Blazers team
Playing spoiler.
not only beat the Denver Nuggets, but they also beat the Thunder last night.
Gave them their first L.
Had to come back to do it, but I mean, what does that matter, right? Win by 1 or 1 million, you win the game, right? So, what do we have to say about the Blazers, bro? I mean, I just wanted to throw that in there. I know I didn't put that in the rundown, but as I was doing my research on the Nuggets and pulling these numbers, I just remembered that I was like, damn, the Blazers beat the Nuggets and they beat the Thunder. Had to come back to beat the Nuggets too, didn't they? Like if I remember correctly, that was a last minute shot to win that game.
They don't even got Dame back yet.
So what are we thinking about? They don't even have Dame, bruh.
Yeah, they're.
That's what I was when we were discussing the show, Ryan. When we were talking about surprises of the NBA, right? So that's my one surprise of the NBA is how good the Blazers are with all the turmoil surrounding that team with their coach and all of that. Like they have an interim coach that just stepped up. And these guys are playing some ball, dog. Like I've watched a couple of Blazers games now, and they might be contenders barring any injuries or complete collapse of the team. But they're playing together. Jeremy Grant's playing solid basketball, and he's coming off the bench.
Yeah. They kind of remind me of hate to say it, but the Giants before basically all of their best players got injured, right? Where this is a team that has been under the radar, drafting super near the top for a few years now. Like nobody still expected anything of them, and yet some of these young high ceiling guys are just starting to put it together, and nobody's like circling that game on their calendar quite yet still, right? And so they can kind of sneak up on some of these teams. I mean, what's this guy's name? Danny Avdija. He's averaging 25 points a game right now, and he had a really solid year last year too. He averaged 17, 7, and 4. Jeremy Grant's been a productive player for a while, but Shaedon Sharp, Donovan Klingen's been surprisingly his game is translated better than I even as a UConn fan expected it to in the NBA. And you look at the games that they've played so far. The loss to the Lakers. The Lakers are one of the hottest teams in the West right now, so you don't look at that and they beat the Lakers a few days earlier. They lost to the Clippers. The Clippers have struggled a little bit out of the gate, but we know they're still very talented. And they lost to the Wolves in a close game. So none of these are really bad losses, in my opinion. And like you said, they've got some huge
those
wins.
are young team losses. Right.
So it'd be interesting to see if they can sustain it, obviously, especially, if you start winning, stringing win streaks together and people do start, gearing up a little bit more for, going to Portland and stuff like that. But do we know who the interim coach is? Because let's give that guy his flowers as well, right?
Yeah, who is the interim coach?
Oh, I know his name. He's a former player. It's right here. I'll look it up. Mike, what's your thoughts, though, on the Blazers while I look this up?
I mean, they look pretty decent, you know, for a young team. I mean, they're probably like a dark horse. They're kind of in the same boat as the Nuggets right now, you know. But I don't necessarily want to put too much stock into like a team beating the Thunder. You know, they're gonna take some losses, and then they're gonna. And it doesn't necessarily like say that they're like some scary, you know. I'm more scared of like the Spurs right now, man. The Spurs look crazy. I'm kind of shocked that the Lakers are doing so well right now. Maybe it's because is LeBron still out?
LeBron is still out.
Yeah,
and,
LeBron's out with sciatica.
I think Luka's only played like 2 or 3 games as well.
Yeah, so like that's a little bit
Luka played like
concerning.
a man possessed last night, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit concerning that the Lakers, just because I got so much hate in my heart for the Lakers, you know what I mean? Like it's concerning. The Thunder, you know, I think I don't know. Let's circle this back to the Nuggets. After last night's win, I'm feeling pretty confident that like once everything's clicking, like the Nuggets are every bit of a contender as any of these other teams that we're talking about.
Sorry, I have to laugh.
Yeah.
Luka, he's played 5 games. I undersold that. Through 5 games, Luka's averaging 40, 11, and 9 on 50% share.
That's unbelievable. That's skinny Luka, baby.
Just unreal, man.
Dallas, that's going to go down as the dumbest Dallas trade ever.
Yeah.
To answer the question, it's Thiago Splitter.
Yeah,
Okay,
I saw
yep.
that.
But can Luka sustain
That's
that?
the coach.
Can Luka sustain that? Can he carry this team like that?
Also, don't sleep on the mic.
He doesn't. That's the thing.
Go ahead.
Go
sorry.
ahead.
After you.
No. I think you were going to say the Micah Parsons trade. Don't sleep on that. I think that's where you were going with that, right?
For dumbest
That
Dallas
was a
trade
pretty
ever.
dumb-
Yeah.
That was a pretty
That's
dumb
up there.
trade, too. Yeah.
That's up there.
You know what? We'll have an award next year or in like a couple of years. We'll do an award ceremony and we'll like do the votes and everything. We'll leave it to the sports fiends to decide, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So we got a little 7 minutes here. Ryan, put you on the spot, bro. What's going on in college sports today?
Man, college sports. I was going to talk about college football. I can get into college basketball if you want to, but for the college football side of things, I've been ruminating on this since last week. We've had more openings for Power 5 head coaching jobs than we've ever had at this point in the season. I believe it was 8 Power 5 head coaching jobs open before Halloween, which is just insane.
Wow.
And I think there's
What?
there's something to be said for the effect of the NIL and the transfer portal on this. I think, in years past, and I was actually listening to some comments from Iowa's head coach on this, who I believe is the longest tenured coach in D1 NCAA football. And those kinds of guys that have been in the game a long time obviously have their concerns with it. I know there was talk about that was an influence on Saban's decision to leave Alabama in the first place, right? But it is truly starting to resemble professional sports more. I mean, if you know that an NFL head coach isn't your guy long term, you don't wait till the end of the season, right? I mean, you give whoever you have as an interim the chance to prove himself, and if not, you let your general manager start that search earlier when the best guys are still available, and you can start kind of recruiting early, right? Because you would never see an LSU, a Penn State, a Florida let go of these guys in the middle of the season in the past. But now that transfer window comes real quick, and if you don't have your guy in place, and if you didn't get ahead of that search, it's not just going to be about finding the best coach for next year. It's going to be something that potentially impacts your program for 2-3 years out, because of your ability to recruit and hit that transfer window. And then how you do that next season is going to carry over into your new coach's recruiting pitch for the seasons afterwards as well. So LSU, Penn State, Florida, Oklahoma State, Arkansas, UCLA, Stanford, Virginia Tech, just insane. So I wanted
Those are all some major schools, man. That's crazy.
Absolutely. So I wanted to touch on that. And then I also wanted to touch on the first college football playoff ranking coming out. I think everyone always gets a little bit too excited about who is and who isn't in it because, so many of these teams that people are mad aren't in, like the Texases and Oklahomas of the world and stuff like that. They still have plenty of opportunity to play their way in. They still control their own destiny, right? I think the bigger question or the bigger talking point with that release is, does a non-Power 5 school deserve to get in? Because right now there's currently one automatic bid for a group of 5 teams. Right now it's Memphis that's picked in there. Memphis is not in your top 25 nationally. So, of course, there's some schools that are right on the cusp that are pretty upset that right now Memphis would be in and their school would not be. I know
right.
I know I'm biased. I recognize I'm biased because as an Appalachian State alum, I know that one group of 5 bid is the only true. Winning a Sun Belt title. I'm not trying to take that for granted because we haven't done it in a few years now, and I miss doing it. And that was fun while it was happening, right? But the only true thing that we really have to hope for and be excited for is that one group of 5 playoff bid and that chance to be Cinderella, right? But I want to know y'all's thoughts on that. Do you think that group of 5 should get that automatic bid, or do you think we're wasting everyone's time by including them in the 12-team playoff?
I'm for a guy that loves underdog stories, and I always root for the underdogs. So I would say you got to add. I'm always going to fight for inclusion. So my vote is for just include as many teams as you can without completely diluting it. But Mike, after you give your thought, let's give a good. I want to know what's going down in the UFC.
In the UFC? Oh, what, I got 2 minutes? Well,
UFC.
So if we're going to pivot that quick, I don't know. I'm in a weird spot with the UFC right now just because there is, in the last month, there's been a lot of weird things going on, like Rainier de Ridder, who was like a top 5 middleweight, pretty much gave up and threw in the towel. He said he was just tired, and he in against Brandon Allen, who was like a top 10 sort of middleweight. He was coming off a 5-fight win streak against some big names, Robert Whittaker, Bo Nickel.
He was a big favorite in that fight too, right?
Yeah, he was, but he just ran out of gas, but he completely gave up, which is just not something that you normally see, especially from the Golden Era. People weren't just giving up, and then you got other things going on, like Kevin Holland taking 3 eye pokes and just groin shots and just not being able to perform like he could. Took his full 5 minutes twice during the fight, ended up losing, and that's not a Kevin Holland thing, you know what I'm saying? Mike Malott is not the guy that's going to beat Kevin Holland, but these groin shots and there's no points taken away. And then all the hype with Tom Aspinall, the basically the heavyweight, he was the champion, because John Jones is pretty much out of the picture. They were trying to set that fight up for 3 years, and then he was going to go up against Cyril Gane, and they ended up getting Cyril Gane's knuckle deep into his eyes, then ended up quitting on it, turning it into a no contest. All this hype behind Aspinall, he would have beat John Jones. John Jones choked out Cyril Gane in 3 minutes. You know what I mean? And he was having trouble with Cyril Gane on the feet before he got poked in his eyeballs.
I had Gane winning that first round for sure.
Yeah, no, he was way ahead. He was outstriking him. He was looking real smooth. He was looking. I don't know if Cyril Gane's just improving that much, or Tom Aspinall's that overhyped. But and so all of that happening, and then to follow up with the scandals of the gambling and people throwing fights, and whether or not the UFC's making the right moves to stay ahead of that thing. Right now I'm a little sour on the UFC. That's all I got to say. A little sour on the UFC. There's been a lot of weird stuff happening in the last month.
All right, to wrap the show, Mike is sour.
Sour.
Mike is sour. That's
I'm soured.
We're calling him Mikey Sours.
Sour Patch Kid.
Mikey Sours.
He was sweet before.
Yeah, it was sweet before, but now I'm sour.
Well,
And now we're gone.
here we go.
All right, man. That's going to do it for us this week, man. Thank you for putting up with all the technical difficulties, fellas. I appreciate you stepping up and stepping in. and covering while we got everything wrapped up. This hopefully is the last time we will have to do this ever, unless we're going to like the NBA All-Star game or a Super Bowl or something like that. But then we'll have Vinny with us. Right,
Yeah.
Vinny? All right.
Yeah.
We will see y'all next week at 7 p.m. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe on all of our social media at Sportz Phenz. We will see y'all next week at 7 p.m. Deuces.
Yo. What's that? Hold on. Yeah. Here, I was just here. Hold on.